What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Astromech Show. Today we're looking at the Hasbro Star Wars Black Series First Order pack. So this is another Shop Disney exclusive pack that's made off the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. So it's a pack made of like characters and stuff there, but they also have them on Shop Disney. So we have the First Order pack here, which overall has a nice, awesome box design, very similar to the Droid Depot one we did not too long ago, but pretty cool. So we have the First Order, so we have Hux, an Atat Driver, and then some droids, and then a nice design of probably like Star Killer base and everything there in the back, which looks cool. And around on the back we have our 4 characters there, so nothing too special there. But if we open it up, we have the pictures with some sort of like story there on the side, but then we have like, I guess, 4 characters here, mostly 3, and then the mouse droid thrown in. But we have General Hux, AT-AT Driver for the First Order, and then some droids. So pretty okay pack. Like, I feel for the price you pay for these aren't really worth it, but to get these versions of the characters, I guess this is a cool pack to be able to get that. And with it being Disney exclusive and all that sort of stuff, I guess that kind of fits in why the price is the way it is. But I hope the figures are cool at least. So let me go ahead and get them open and we'll take a look at them together. So let's start off with General Hux. Of course, his real name is Armitage Hux, played by Domhnall Gleeson, and he is the General of the First Order and in command of Star Killer Base as well as the Finalizer Star Destroyer, all under Supreme Leader Snoke. So he overall looks pretty good. I really like this figure. I know they've released versions of General Hux in the past, but unfortunately we didn't get those, and I think it was because I didn't like the look of them, where this overall looks really good. I really like the look of this a lot. The only main issue I have with this is just how shiny his face is, which tends to happen a lot with like the face printing, but his face just looks so shiny if you can see that reflecting off there. But I like how red his hair is and stuff. It just stands out a lot, and like the sideburns and all that, his eyebrows there, and the blue eyes there underneath. Now another issue is we do have some like paint issues with the neck, so you can see they didn't like get the neck fully painted, where it seems like it's probably an all black body that they painted with the skin color over the top, so it got either scraped off or it was just straight out of the box like that, like they didn't get it painted fully in. So that's a little bit of an issue we want to try and fix something up with. But otherwise I like his outfit a lot, and the all black of course fits for the First Order, so has the First Order logo there on his shoulder. So just a nice black like trench coat on over the top, so it goes, you know, all the way down to his legs, and of course down the sleeves where he's got some silver there around on his one arm as well. So then just overall a nice design, even like the like flap design stuff there on the back put into it. So it just looks really nice. Has some black gloves on his head and some black shiny leather gloves which stand out, and then underneath he has more of that First Order officer design, so just an all black shirt as well. It's weird that the upper part is a lot more shinier than the lower part, which is more matte, so that doesn't really match too well, but the designs and everything do with the lines and everything running through it. And then he's got a black belt on with a silver belt buckle, and then black pants that have some sort of like the puffs out to the side, which again it's hard to see there. You can see some sort of puffy pants again in a different sort of black color, and then the shiny black leather boots that go up to his knees as well in there. So overall just a lot of black, but looks really nice. So let's go and do the movement. So his head can twist all the way around. It can look down that far and up that far, so not too bad. Thought there'd be some issues, but it's not really too much. Shoulders can come up about 90 there and rotate all the way around. We get the single elbow joint that bends to about 90 there with the rotation, and wrist can twist around and flex back and forth. And then we get the midsection where he has some sort of crunch, so it's going to be hard to be with the jacket as well. So you can crunch just a very little back and forth, pretty much none at all, but there's a little bit of shaking in there, but he can twist around at the waist as well. And then the hips can come up, again, with like the skirting piece coming down in the front. It's hard to get his leg up too high, but maybe about that far, you know, not too far off from 90, and then out to the side a little bit. There is a thigh twist up in there, and then a double knee joint that's going to be hard again with the cove if we push it out of the way, but it can at least bend up that far to the back. And then we get the foot that flexes back and forth and can twist side to side. So overall not the best figure, has issues with some limitations, but it's mostly just because of his outfit. And the only accessory he really comes with is his SE-44C blaster pistol, and I assume this is one because both characters come with this gun, and one of them has a silver stripe, so I assume with it being General Hux he'd be more one to have a silver stripe on it. But just a nice little like blaster pistol there that we can stick into his one hand since he has the trigger finger. So there's General Hux with the gun ready to shoot anybody who dissents from the First Order. But pretty nice figure overall. Like I said, I really like this version of Hux. This is definitely my favorite version, so one reason why we wanted this pack. So pretty nice just figure overall there for him. And next up we have the First Order AT-AT Driver, so it's going to be just like our other AT-ATs, but obviously for the First Order this time. So of course with that we have the First Order logos there in red up on the helmet, and then overall has that First Order design, so the more like sleeker, smooth design with the face that comes down to like the big fatter piece there around the bottom, but not as big and detailed stuff as the Empires. Like I said, a much smoother design, but still has the black eyes of the visor, and then of course the black lines there kind of making like a mouth design. But overall the helmet's pretty pretty similar to the Empire's AT driver. I like it, you know, all mostly with the white. It's like a really light gray, pretty much white, but I like the black designs, you know, black there in the front, then the details on the side. Of course, the tubes going into the back. So I always assumed stuff like this, it was because they were on hot, so, you know, insulated, you know, to keep them warm. But since it's with this as well, the AT should be in any sort of terrain. So I don't really know exactly what the function of having all the tubes and everything, which run all the way down here into the front to a little device on the front, which it looks like it even has like a little screen piece there, which is pretty cool, and all sorts of buttons, and another tube and piece there on the back as well. So again, don't know what they're supposed to do, but it's nice that it has all the features on it. But once again, we have pretty similar armor. So it has this like silver body glove that's wearing, again, I always assume like insulating stuff for Hoth, but it could be for anything. It has the armor piece on its chest, up on its shoulders, on the forearms, then a nice belt around the waist with all sorts of pockets, and the straps come down. And then we have the boots on the feet as well. They're pretty similar. They don't look as much as like the furry boots or whatever, like the UGG boots or whatever, but pretty nice design just overall in general. And just so you can see that difference, here is the AT driver from the Empire, so you can see the differences between the two there. Overall, pretty similar look and design. Can't tell the difference between Empire and First Order. So I do like the design overall for the First Order. It's just I love the classic look of the Empire's version just because I love AT-ATs and that's where we first saw them. So I just love that look a lot more. But for this figure, let's go and do a movement. So the head can twist around a little bit in there. It's hard just because of the tubes, so you can only go so far because of those, unfortunately. But you can look down a little bit. It's hard, again, because the helmet, but we get the joint, can look down that far and up that far as well. So pretty good movements over on the head, especially for having a big helmet. The shoulders can come up. It's hard, I think, with these. You have to trying to push down on them to be able to get them to bend up a little bit there, so it comes up relatively close to 90 but still under, and then of course can rotate all the way around. We get the single elbow joint that bends to about 90 with the rotation, and then of course the wrist can twist around and then flex back and forth for this hand. We have an ab crunch right under the armor piece, so crunch back and forth a little bit, but twist around in there as well. Hips can come up under 90, out to the side a little bit. A thigh twist that can twist all the way around mostly, except for you have to worry about this cord here. And then we get the double knee joint that's a little bit stiff, but we can pop it loose and get it to bend up at least that far to the back, so not bad. And then the foot flexes back and forth and twists side to side. So once again, not a bad figure. Are some limitations with the joints, but that's kind of expected with an armored figure. And for him, he comes with the exact same blaster of the SE44C blaster pistol. So exact same design as Hux had. So a nice little pistol there that we can go ahead and pop into his hand as well. So there we have our First Order AT driver. Like I said, overall not the best to me. I just, like I said, have such a fondness for the Empire version, but still not a bad look overall for a figure just in general. And next up we have the R5 Astromech droid, a part of the First Order. Now these are a line of low-cost Astromech droids built by Industrial Automation based off the R2 series, but these, since they are made much cheaper, were plagued with many design flaws, and we see them like in the First Order, especially in the Galaxy's Edge, a part of the Star Wars Rise of the Resistance ride. They are pilot troop transports around the Star Destroyer. So these are just R5 droids. Of course, one of the famous is R5D4 that we see blow up when Uncle Owen is trying to buy, he blows up and they end up getting R2 instead. So pretty similar design overall to that, which I was hoping we could get the figure, but we weren't able to find it. So unfortunately, we don't have that to like compare the two, but overall has the very similar design. So like I said, based off the R2 series, so has that same body design, like especially from like here down, everything looks exactly like R2-D2, but obviously the head is much a different design. It has more of like, I'd say like the hexagon design there with the point at the top, but I like it being for the First Order, so it's all in black and red with some silver details throughout it as well. And it's just overall a nice design. I love getting droids, especially like these sort of Astromech droids. They're always fun to me, but of course they're kind of boring because they don't really do much, but I always love R2 and everything, so I like that a lot. Now, as I said, I couldn't find the old R5, but we did find this one from the Target exclusive like Galaxy's Edge stuff, so of course they kind of fit together being part of Galaxy's Edge. Of course, both R5 models, so just wanted to show that off to show the similar design between two different versions of the droid. But we can look at some of the movements. Of course, there's, like as I said, not going to be a whole lot with this figure. Like for the arms or legs, whatever you want to call them here, can rotate all the way around if you want them. And then we have the feet pieces as well that can rock back and forth to be able to get them to stand up. And then we have some like contraptions around. So we have little doors that open up. So on this side, we have a little door with a piece that, if I can get it to pop out here, we have the piece here like R2 uses to go into doors and stuff to be able to open doors or lock doors, whatever you want there. And then we have another door flap on the other side here that has like a claw hand. Again, if I can can get out. So he has a little like claw hand there as well. So that's pretty fun. And I believe that's about it for doors. Of course, with R2, he has all sorts of doors and contraptions and stuff that can open up on his head and all that. But this figure doesn't have it. But the last thing is we have the head that we can twist around. So if you go counterclockwise, it'll start lowering the third leg there in the center, which unfortunately, okay, it keeps going. I say, unfortunately, it seems like when it stops, the heads twist all the way around, so you have to keep twisting it. But there we have the third leg that extends out, and then it has the little piece that rotates as well. And so with that, you can now get him to lean back to like roll around stuff, much like we see with R2. So it can lean back like that to be able to then roll around. So that's pretty fun that it can do that as well. I like the little feature of twisting the head, getting the leg to move up and down there. So I like that a lot for these sorts of droids. So pretty nice looking droid, just overall, you know, like I said, not much to it, but just overall for this R5 Astromech droid, looks pretty cool. I like the collars and everything for it as well. So pretty nice droid to go with this set. And finally, we just have a mouse droid, which we got one of these included with the Bad Batch version of Admiral Rampart, I think. I could be wrong with that. But we got a mouse droid with that, which was our first one, and now we have one with this pack as well. They look very similar, exactly the same, so didn't really need to compare them or anything. But just overall, the little mouse droid design, which are MSE6 series repair droids, which are roving repair droids employed to clean the floors of starships and bases, but they also carry messages and guide troops to their assigned posts. So they have a little function stuff. Of course, in the movies, we just see them roaming around. It's like, what are these things doing? But makes more sense, especially that they clean the floors and stuff with how shiny the floors of like the Death Star and everything are. But just overall, a nice little just contraption droid. Again, I feel this shouldn't be included as like a figure for the set, you know, because of the price and everything. Then it's like the fourth figure, even though it's just this little thing that we got included with something else. So I feel it shouldn't be its own separate thing. But again, I don't know how they included this in with the price and stuff. But it's a nice little droid. It has roller wheels, so it does roll around and everything. So nice little droid. Like I said, it's always nice to have a mouse droid because, you know, we see them and nice to have them with their sets, but not necessarily something I'd want to pay much money to get. But I guess it's just a nice little droid to throw in here. But that's going to be it for our Shop Disney exclusive Star Wars Black Series First Order pack. That's a part of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge in the Disney parks. So overall, I think the set is pretty cool. I like getting the General Hux. The First Order ATJ Driver is cool. I like the look of this R5 droid, and getting the mouse droid included is awesome. Like I said, I just don't feel if it's necessarily worth the price that you have to pay to be able to get this is the only issue I have with it. But I like the figures, just wish they were a little bit more affordable and cheaper. But let me know what you thought of this pack down in the comments, and if you enjoyed my review, let me know with a thumbs up. But I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you all stay awesome out there, and I'll see you in our next review.